Hey folks, it's question time. I got a comment on another video on YouTube that asked me what kind of picks I'm playing nowadays. And there's like two scenarios. One is like live and one is in the studio. In the studio, I use a wide variety of different picks to get different sounds, mainly on acoustic guitars and strumming parts. And for live use, I have like 2 or 3 main go-to pick sizes and pick materials I tend towards. So I'll show you some. Let's go over the studio situation first. When I'm recording acoustic guitars, I tend to use thinner picks, mainly to the reason that they like have a little give. This is like a Dunlop Tortex 0.50, which is like maybe the thinnest pick I use for strumming kind of stuff. That's just because it has a, like not much, very much bass and a very bright sound. This is good when you want acoustic guitars to cut through the mix and not be very bottom heavy and have like this high sparkle, high frequency thing that you can like double strumming acoustic guitars left and right and like compress them very hard, low cut them. It's like the sprinkle on top. This is like for stuff like that. And one thing I also do is if that's a bit too bright or a bit has a little too less bass, you can always turn around. If you have a standard pick like that, a big one, you cannot always not always play with the pointy side, but you can turn it around and use the shoulder side. That gets a little, it has a little less top end and has a little bit more body to it. This is like the pointy side, and this is the rounded side. Hear the difference? Pointy side. That's the pointy side. And this is the rounded side. So the back side or the shoulder has a little more body to it. This is always a thing that you can keep in mind if you want to change your sound and don't want to change picks. You can just flip it around like that and use the back side of it. It's like not very pointy here. It's a very round thing, and this has more definition, less bottom end. So keep that in mind whenever you play a standard pick, because I'll show you later what I mean with the. Oh, let's do it right now. The other main pick I use in the studio because of sound reasons is the normal Fender medium. I also have this here in heavy, but I prefer the medium. This is like a little thicker. I think it's 0.60 or 0.70. I don't know. They don't write that on the package, but it's a little tighter, but still has a little give to it. And the main reason I use this is because it's a different material. This sounds a little bit brighter than this material, the Tortex one. And it sounds a little fatter than the Tortex one. This is the Tortex one. This has a little bit more body already just with the pointy side. And also you can turn this around. Go for a little duller and a little fatter tone. That's the rounded side. And this is the pointy side. I think the difference here is very clear. Rounded side and pointy side. And I use the rounded side mainly when I'm playing like clean melodies, or if I have to play like a melody on a nylon string guitar and it has to be picked and not to be played with the fingers. So I most likely use the rounded side to get a very smooth top end. You can think of the rounded side as like being the tone of guys like Hendrix used to play like that, Robin Ford plays like that, Mike Landau plays like that, Scott Henderson plays with the rounded side of the pick. Who else? I guess George Benson does it. Pat Metheny does it. Who else? I don't know. There's many players that use the rounded side of the pick just for the fatness and the smoothness in the sound. So this is my go-to when it comes to like rhythm guitars in the studio, like picking stuff. This is like one of those, and the other one is just almost the same one. It's like a medium, the Dunlop Tortex, the yellow one, the 0.73, is it? Yeah. Similar thickness and sturdiness, but different tone. That's the Tortex one, Fender Medium. The difference is not that big, but as you can tell, I really choose these depending on how my amp reacts. Or depending on the part that has to be played in the studio. I always have like these picks lying around all over my desk here, and when I'm trying out sounds or searching for sounds for songs to record, I usually play a part with the tracks running, and switch through different picks and try to find out which one sounds best in the situation. But this is just for studio application. Now, when going for live, I need something that isn't in my way, and I've always had problems with the big picks as the point of the pick always like reaches out very far from a picking hand, and if you like hold them, that not very much is sticking out. The pick here inside of the thumb is like very loose, and you have like just one point, and the pick literally can like wiggle around with a lot of material on top and a lot of material on the bottom, which I never preferred because it felt weird for me. It's just not my preferred size of pick or form of pick. And there's a little story. I went to see Andy Timmons with Simon Phillips after I saw a workshop of him in the mid 90s, I guess 96 or 97, I don't know. I think it was 97. And after the show, his backliner tear down his stuff. It was just not too big of a club. So I was there like watching when they tear down this stuff. And his backline dude, he pulled off his Laney top at the time and put it on the side of the stage. And there were his picks that he played during that show. They were lying on top of that amp. And I was watching there, watching the backliner, and he looked at me and took the pick and asked, "You want to have it?" And I said, "Sure." And it was like my first jazz pick. So I got straight into these little things. We all know them. The Dunlop Jazz 3. I like the pointy one from the form factor. I don't like the Jazz 2 or the Jazz 1 because the tip is too round for me. I need the pointy tip, like the really pointy tip. And I have a variety of those here. I have we all know the red one. We all know the black one, of course. And this one is the one I prefer. That's the Ultex made. That's a different material, and it sounds different. This is why I prefer this one. Let me just give you a little demonstration. This is the black one. This is the red one. They sound almost identical, and now this is the Ultex one. Let me just get my so the right away the Ultex one has a little more body to it compared to the red one. Notice that? That's the black one, Ultex. So sound-wise, I prefer this. This is what I used to play live like over many years. Just because I prefer the sound of the Ultex picks. And the next one is I have, for my touring with Glasperlenspiel, I got custom picks made with the logo on it. This is a completely different material. This is Delrine. This is some kind of, I don't know what it is. Just said it is Delrine because we were not able to get these to or get these unlabeled, so we can just like print them with the logo. So I got picks made out of a different material. These are also fairly heavy. These are like 1.14 millimeters, I guess. Kind of the heavy gauge gauge picks. Also very bright. Let's compare the Ultex. That's also bright. Let's compare it to the black Jazz 3. This has a little more top end. So that's one that I played live a lot. And then I kind of made a transition when the first... there was like a series coming out that was like the... I have one here, the Jazz XL, which is like the size is right in between of the standard jazz pick and a normal pick size. So there's been a few years where I played those. Because it was like, it was not so small as the jazz picks, just a little bigger, but not as big as the big picks. So I asked my other dude I had for my other band, also picks made with my name on it and the band logo. These are from Pick Me Custom. I'll try to link him in the description later. That's his logo. And he makes these picks for me. That's also Delrine. These are like Jazz XLs. And I've been using those for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, I guess. And don't mind me playing boring stuff because I just want to kind of showcase the sounds of the picks. That's again the Ultex now. The Jazz XL Delrine. So why do I choose these picks for live? It's just because they are very pointy. They are not too big. They like go well over the strings. They don't like have a too hard pushback when you want to cross the string. That's just my preferred pick, playing wise or feel wise, and also sound wise. I tried around like with a lot of different materials and stuff, and always came back to these. So this is like I have this thing where I play a pick for years and then suddenly it doesn't work anymore and I need to change it. So as I said, this was like from 2020 to I think about 3 or 4 months ago. I was just mainly exclusively on these picks live. And now, at the moment, I'm on the Dunlop Jazz 3 Ultex. This is just, it happened again. I had to go back to Jazz Picks because this just wasn't working anymore. But I can tell you, it might be in 2 or 3 years that I'm back on this one because these don't work anymore. I have this thing going on that I constantly, on a regular basis or in a regular cycle of maybe 3 to 4 to 5 years, I have to change my picks. I don't know why, but it's always been like that, and I don't know. So I hope you like that kind of nerdy in between talk. I hope it wasn't too boring showing different picks. But we as guitar players, we tend to do nerdy stuff and like nerdy stuff, so maybe this gives you something. So take care, and like and subscribe, comment, discuss, tell me what your picks are, and have a good time. See ya.